Well, even though the world is really crazy today with all the war in Israel, the war in Ukraine, those, I think the leaders of the world today should resign altogether. They brought the world to a not a good place.
Awesome. Well, listen, Abigail, so nice to see you again. What I want to do with these conversations is showcase to the world who people are, what they do, and how they can help others. So, knowing all that, let's get right into it. Who are you?
Ooh, wow. Well, I'm a wellness entrepreneur and the owner of the Soundwell. Uh, this is a company, it's a therapy that we bring from Norway, low sound frequency inner body massage, which is called Vibroacoustic Therapy. And the inventor of vibroacoustic therapy, Olive Schiller from Norway, he really trained me about low sound frequencies, about design of special equipment such as mats, recliner, and even pets. And the common denominator is really reducing pain, stress, insomnia, and anxiety with low sound frequencies that are streamed in special vibroacoustic therapy equipment. I myself am an explorer, life explorer, and my passion is to provide tools for people to help themselves.
That's beautiful. I mean, we've talked about this before already, and I absolutely love what you're doing. How did you get to be this person? How did you get into this whole vibroacoustic therapy? What's your path in life been like?
Okay, so I was doing my master degree in holistic health in Israel at a branch of Lesley University from Massachusetts. And I was looking for a topic for my thesis. And since I was a meditation teacher, I realized how difficult it is for people to to pass the first gate of silence in their body mind and then go deep into serenity so that this meditation can really impact their inner systems. So when I found Olaf Schiller about vibroacoustic, I realized that the beauty of vibroacoustic therapy is really it kind of bypasses the mental, emotional, and physical. It works on the three systems and really help people navigate in this going deeper into serenity. It's like self hypnosis to the cells. And I was really thrilled about that. And when I moved to the States, Olaf sent me his mat and frequencies, and I was my own self laboratory for a few months. And I realized what this is all about. And Olaf used to tell me, put away the music. You need to listen to your body, breathe deeply, and feel how the impact of the low sound frequencies really resonate with the organs, tissues, and cells. And and that's what I did. And it came to me that this is really what everybody needs because so many people are struggling with finding peace on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, that is so true. So I want to know more about this low frequency sound. Where did that idea come from? And how does it really impact people that are exposed to it?
Yeah, so Olaf himself was playing his bass in front of disabled children. They were sitting in their wheelchair, and he was a principal of a disabled children's school. And he noticed that the closer he got physically to their wheelchair and he was playing his bass, they became less tense, their mood improved, they moved in their wheelchairs. And he said, could it be that it was the low sound of the bass that really penetrated their tissue and just released deep tension? And so he was playing with this idea. And he also was one of the rare people that knew about the harmony of sound, that was created by Pythagoras. So he was playing with low sound frequencies, just like composing a song, but the low sound frequencies are in the range between 30 hertz and 120 hertz, which are very low. You hardly hear them. And even if you hear them, it sounds like a wave pause and another wave. It's not dedicated for the audio, it's more into inner body massage. And what he was saying, and we know about this today with the science, that, the mother's sound, all her sounds, the voice sound and everything, impact the fluids while she's pregnant, and the embryo is impacted by those vibrations even before um, the audio, the whole hearing mechanism is being developed. So he was talking about 30 hertz to 120 hertz, which are 2 octaves that are positively impact our body.
Yeah. The interesting thing too is when it comes to those really low frequency sounds, like you said, it's less about the hearing, that auditory component, and more about the feeling. And I think most people can relate to that. If you ever driven down a city street and somebody blasts music, you feel the bass coming from that sound system more than you hear it. And so I can definitely see how those low frequency sounds have much more of a feeling or an emotional impact rather than a true, auditory input into our ears, because that's really at the low end of what our ears can even pick up to begin with. Especially as we get older, we do lose the top and the bottom ranges of our hearing becomes much narrower than when we were children. And so I'm kind of curious, how loud is this? Is this something you can hear at all, or is this really really not focused on the hearing at all, and really more on picking up the feelings of these devices?
I would say not the feeling, but the sensing,
Okay,
tactical
that's fair.
sensing. You're lying on the mat and hold your body because we're 60% water, and sound travels through water better than air. And you lie, and the impact is instantly. After a few moments, you breathe deeper, and you just kind of swing from within, and you feel this waves rinsing you from within. It's a very different sensation that we all had. It's like ticklish sensation of a wave coming in. It's very soothing, very gentle, and very nice. But you mentioned the noise, and this is something that is it's important to clear that when I teach therapists to use vibroacoustic as part of what they do, and it doesn't really matter if it's a physical therapy, occupational therapy, chiropractor, medical doctor, or psychotherapy, my mantra is less is more. And you touched the loud, how loud it is, and this is part of parameters of harmony is really the lowest that you can still feel.
Mm,
So if you hear those boom, boom, boom in discos where you feel the vibration from those speakers, but what we're saying is less is more, meaning less than 80 decibels to impact positively and bring relaxation instead of stress.
okay.
So, just like any other resource, if you just take water, for example, water is essential for our life, but if you drink too much water, it's not so good. Or air, oxygen is essential to our life. Again, when we're talking about low sound frequency, the volume should be the lowest that you can still feel. And this is actually the secret that I'm, sharing with you in the world that less is more.
Okay. I could definitely sense that. I could feel that, if you will. So, what are the benefits that people derive from this, or what kind of problems do people have in their lives that they're looking for a solution for that this vibroacoustic therapy can help them out with?
Yeah, so I always say that the real pandemic is stress. And this is the elephant in the room. everybody is stressed, children, teenagers, business people, women, and elderly. I mean, stress is kind of became the new normal. And some people just say, well, that's what it is. But we need to reduce stress daily because otherwise it becomes chronic stress and it elevates other chronic conditions such as insomnia, anxiety, even depression and pain as well. So, although there's so many ways to reduce stress daily, again, getting back to the first story about meditation, that it's really not effective to so many people because they're too overwhelmed. The beauty of vibroacoustic therapy, and again, as a meditation teacher, I really passionate that everybody learn about this and use it, is that it works on your mental, emotional, physical. You don't have to think about to imagine walking on the beach because you are now in a situation that you're so overwhelmed. So how will this imagination of walking on the beach or going to the mountain, whatever scenario, it's like adding more mission to your mind. All you need to do is just let go. You need to lie on the mat, string one single frequency and let go and let the frequency work on your mental, emotional, and physical and just release tension. And let's really emphasize the harm of stress because stress is really a signal to many people that we're in survival mode. And that's why it damages our communication, it damages their performance, it drains our, uh, makes our immune system work less. So what I'm trying to say is this is really every person, and I think in school they should teach ways to reduce stress. And I am, I'm the ambassador of vibroacoustic therapy. Now, besides stress, we have different frequencies for insomnia, for pain in different parts of the body. So we have different frequencies to reduce, let's say, lower back pain, upper back pain, headache, anxiety. And I also teach therapists how to combine frequencies to address more complex conditions such as Parkinson, fibromyalgia, and many other uh, depression. And so it's really a journey. Vibroacoustic is a journey. So the first, I would say, condition is pain, stress, insomnia, and anxiety, but then you can help with vibroacoustic therapy to improve performance, improve attention. And then the pick of this is really, your spiritual world, whoever feels that he or she is missing connectivity with the universe.
Yeah. Okay. So that kind of goes into actually the other question I had with all of those different problems that could potentially be addressed by vibroacoustic therapy. Are there different frequencies that address different problems? And I guess you kind of already answered that. So I guess the follow up question to that would be, if you have one device like the mat, for example, is that mat capable of doing different frequencies to address different problems at different times, or is each device tuned to one specific frequency and you need multiple devices to address different problems?
No, 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 no. Each even, here I brought my Daisy Panda.
There you go.
Daisy Panda, even though she's a huge Daisy Panda, but she has inside two speakers. We can provide all seven frequencies, which we provide a therapist as therapeutic kit. And as I said, each one of those frequencies address, let's say, pain, stress, insomnia, and anxiety, or pain in different parts of the body. But I also teach the art of combination of frequencies. So once you have seven frequencies, you're good to help a lot of conditions. And also, this is not only for therapists; it's also as a self-help tool. So, people that are more aware, that are looking to improve their lifestyle, preventive lifestyle, families that want, a mat or recliner in their living room or in their bedroom, I, this is amazing. It's a journey into, improving wellness, health, and well-being.
Yeah, I could definitely hear that. So, if you
these
have
different
these frequencies, do you start people off with one frequency to address maybe their number one problem, and then you add additional frequencies, or do you just hit them straight up with all seven different frequencies, or is there benefit to building up to the different frequencies versus just uh,
Yeah.
hitting them all
So
with them
if
at
we're
once?
talking, yeah. So if I teach therapists how to, take really optimize the usage of the vibroacoustic therapy, what I teach is have a journal and have each day another frequency at least once up to three times of 23 minutes a day, and just realize how it impacts your body, because even though we say this frequency is dedicated for lower back pain, we are into customization and personalization. So every person, every therapist should first feel and explore the impact of the low sound frequencies on their body mind. And then they should start really investigating. And I wrote, together with a doctor for biochemistry, biotechnology, sorry, ebook that we give as part of our training, and we also have training sessions. And I also do Zoom for therapists and also for caregivers that want to help their loved ones, either a dementia, Alzheimer, Parkinson, and so on. So whoever wants to learn and deep the potential of what this is all about is welcome to, of course, contact me and learn more. And there's a lot to say. I'm learning every day as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still a lot that needs to be uncovered in that space. So, you obviously showed Daisy the panda bear. You've been talking about mats and chairs. So, what are the different ways that people can be exposed to these different acoustic therapy modalities? And is there one that works better for certain conditions? Like the mat versus the chair or the teddy bear, right? So, how do people figure out which modality or which object to choose to go with vibroacoustic therapy?
Right. So we classify our equipment into whole body solutions like recliner, mat, sound massage table. This is one whole body. That means that it takes few moments for the body mind to start realizing the sensation. And one of the beauties of one vibroacoustic therapy is that you feel good. You feel you love it. You love it from the beginning. It's really sensual, positive sensuality. So this is the whole body is one classification. Another one is pillows. We have, for instance, you're sitting in your office all day long. We have a foot massage pillow. You can place your feet on top of those on the foot massage pillow, and just have this helping of the circulation. It's just like a gymnastic to the cells. As you sit and then do whatever you do with people sometimes, and I find myself sometimes sitting like 8 hours in front of the computer as they do my business development. So I have my foot massage, or we have pillow for the back, back chair. We have hug me pillow, which is more emotional support, that you can hug the pillow and feel really being hugged from within. So the pillows is another classification. And the third one is really pets, sonic harmonic pets, just like I show you panda, we have teddy bears, and we have actually, we can do any stuffed pet that anybody wants. And it's really very beneficial for children with autism, or CP, or again, people with chronic diseases. They can just take the teddy bear or the panda and go to sleep with them. And this is also emotional support. People that feel lonely can have such a pet as well. So this is in general the classification. So it depends what you're looking for. Let's say if you're a hospital or a clinic, psychotherapy or rehabilitation centers, you would take a recliner, or a mat. Or if you're a massage therapist that you want to add vibroacoustic as inner body massage together with their conventional massage, so you can have a massage table or have a mat on top of your massage table. So it really depends on who you are, what you're looking for, who are your clients, and your space, your physical space. For instance, teddy bear or pillows you can take on the go. We also have a mat, unwind me mat, that is more flexible. You can roll it, put it in your car. For salespeople, anybody that on the road. So it depends, as I said, who you are, what you're looking for, and what the facilities that in your space.
Gotcha. So, when it comes to all these different devices, right? Are these corded devices that you got to plug into a wall? I mean, with a recliner, for example, I can see that. But with the teddy bears or even some of the pillows you mentioned, I'm wondering, are they battery operated so that they can be moved? Or even that portable mat you mentioned, is that something that's battery operated, or is it still something that needs to be plugged into the wall? I mean, what are the logistics here?
Right. So we have batteries for all our devices. Some of those batteries are stronger than the other to really to empower those larger equipment. And yes, the small the pets and the pillows, they have a tiny amplifier. Actually, when you're talking about the physicality of the system, so you have the embedded speakers inside, and then you have the amplifier and the battery that can be added. So a battery is always an option to add. In addition, some people don't like to use Bluetooth, for their own reasons. So you can use a cable. So actually, you have the frequencies in your phone or in a tablet, and either you use Bluetooth or with a cable to the amplifier.
Interesting. Is there a way? I don't know enough about the cell phones or any of those portable devices and the speakers they have. I mean, for the most part, they're going to be pretty cheap. They're not going to be high fidelity speakers. But are those devices capable of generating those low frequency sounds so that you could just do it as an app on a phone?
Yes, so we're using special speakers for the low sound. They're called transducers. And if you want to add, we are able to add full range speaker if you want just to feel music in your body as a relaxation technique. So we can add full range speaker in addition to the transducers. So, for instance, if you stream a song that you love into the recliner, that has also two full range speakers. So the transducers will pick up the bass of the music that you stream. Or you stream our frequencies. So you are in silence and you just feel the vibrations. And one of the things that we created is Four Senses chill out spaces. It's a new idea of for public places such as rehabs, academia, hospitals, a nursing home, is to have a space. Imagine you have a space where you have like 20, 20 recliners and you have a large screen. You can stream natural scenes and ambient music and also have aromatherapy. So that's why we call it Four Senses, because actually it engage the visual, the audio, the tactile with the vibration, and the smell with aromatherapy. And this is another way to enable people to facilitate getting into deep relaxations with no efforts. So you can do it in your home. I mean, the whole idea of engaging the four senses, you can do in your home. So you can, for instance, look at the TV, go to YouTube, stream a very nice nature scene, but lower the volume of the TV to zero, but then have the vibrations feel. You can have the vibration in your body or music and the vibration. So you can do a lot of combinations between the low sound frequencies and music if you like music to be in your conditions. we vibroacoustic is really into silence, but we understand that some people like to add music to the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I guess the one question I always have about these alternative therapies, I come from a very scientific medical background and learn a lot about alternative medicines and whatnot. And I don't even know that alternative medicines is necessarily the right word because you go to different places in the world and what we consider alternative here in the United States is actually standard of care somewhere else in the world potentially. So I don't even that alternative is necessarily the right word, but it's definitely not mainstream medicine, let's say here in the United States, or mainstream healthcare, or mental and emotional well care, even in that sense. So for someone who comes from the United States who isn't attuned to some of these alternative modalities that are skeptical about this. How soon does this stuff work? I mean, if you put someone who doesn't believe in this stuff into a chair, how soon can they actually feel results and maybe convert them into being a believer for this kind of approach?
I love your question because, our body, our physical, mental, emotional systems, it has nothing to do with belief. It's either you feel better or not. Now, if you are not willing to explore, of course, I cannot enforce it on you, and I cannot convince. We can talk. I can give you. You can go into our website, vibro-therapy.com/research, and learn about 40 years of studies in Nordic countries, in Canada, and even in the United States, and in Japan. Vibroacoustic is not something new. It's relatively new in the United States when I'm talking about low sound frequencies. So what I would say is this: if you're an open-minded explorer and you want to help yourself, your family, and people around you in your workplace, just put your belief system aside if you can and just sense it. It has nothing to put the belief system aside, because a belief system may prevent you even from trying. So that's the problem with beliefs. We are so conditioned, so we have our assumption or our statement of what's truth before we even explore. So again, if you are willing to explore and sense and experience, just let it be. And don't analyze in your mind while you string the frequencies. Just feel. Just be attentive to what's going on in your body. And it's funny that some people that come to me, like there was a psychotherapist that came to me one day. She lives in New York, but she has a house here and in Florida. And I told her, listen, put aside everything, and I took her into a journey for 4 minutes just to be attentive to the inner organs and how they feel this very, very gentle but powerful sound, and how they impact the different organs. So if you do that, and you can put aside your theories, the theories that you tell yourself, your conditioned mind, whatever you taught yourself or other and trained into you, just be an explorer, you would say, okay, I'm not talking about it, like 99% of the people, I would say, they would say, oh, wow. Because their cells are going to say, oh, wow. Because it's a physiological sensing. So again, believe, believe, believe. I know I don't blame medical doctors for being skeptic, because they've never been exposed to this. And so, and again, you just said alternative medicine and just put vibroacoustic into this group, and that is, I think the vibroacoustic, I would encourage investors and the research center of nanotechnology and chemistry of the body, and really to explore the impact of low sound frequency on the cells, and how they can improve the communication of the cells. This is photons. This is not photons. Imagine how the vibrations of the sound can improve harmony and better communication, calibration between the body system, improve the immune system. So I want to talk in your language. And really the added value here from my being a life coach, energy healer, and meditation teacher is explore. Don't let your conditioned mind really dedicate what's good or bad for you, because you're missing a lot.
Yeah, no, and that's very true. I mean, I think we all need to keep an open mind that just because we didn't learn something in school doesn't mean it doesn't exist or it's not the right approach or it doesn't work, right? It's just every school has their own agenda and their own platform that they want to promote. And if you aren't on that platform, then you might not learn about it. But that's on you. Then you need to be able to have that curiosity and that openness in order to explore other things outside of what it was that you were initially taught. So I do want to turn the conversation here a little bit more onto you and away from the vibroacoustic therapy. And I want to ask you some questions out of my simple networking toolbook that really it blew up on LinkedIn in like November, and it's been a just incredible journey since for myself. But I want to share some of those questions with you about you. The first one is quite simply: who or what is your source of motivation?
I love that. Yeah, I love this question because actually I'm writing a book now about being an entrepreneur as a way of life. And this is exactly one of the questions that I ask. What is the source of your motivation? What's the source of your drive or your passion? And I'm not talking about me. So I would say this. I'm a spiritual being. And when I say that, I'm always looking about the connectivity between we as temporary beings and the universe, which is infinite, or the universe wisdom, which is infinite. So, what is kind of this relationship? And I am looking at the big questions of life, who we are, what we're doing here, what's the purpose, and everything. And I think that when I look at the universe and I look maybe the creator, if you like, the creation or the creator, um, I'm not calling it God. I call the creator or the source. Let's call it even more neutral word, the source. So I see it as a combination of the energy of wisdom, creativity, and love. Wisdom, creativity, and love. Yeah, and so my passion is always to find my path of wisdom, creativity, and love. In my purpose in life, as I see it, is really providing tools for people to help themselves. Because I feel that people are so, like we're talking about, conditioned in their mind by our parents, then society, community, religion, culture, and people become passive, and they kind of robots to their belief systems. That's what you were talking about belief.
Yeah.
And I think that belief is stronger than rational thinking. Belief is really the infrastructure of our subconsciousness. So if every person, and I think even children, should go and say, hey, what do I believe? Do this belief system really resonate with who am I, with who I am? Because some people are struggling in their life and they're not happy because they're so conditioned to the belief system that their parents and the society, religion, and culture entrained in them, and they just kind of programmed. So pause, breathe deeply, and just like watching the clothes in your closet, you can open your closet and say, hey, did I wear this for the past year? No, I didn't. So give it away. Give it away. Create space for something that resonates with your being. And I think that we're here to be happy, to be creative, to be loving. So this is my goal to improve myself. I'm in the journey, just like anybody else, improving in those three factors of love, creativity, and wisdom. and then help others. It's just like we're pipes of energy. We get energy and we project energy. So this is really my motivation and how I wake up every morning.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I guess I wanted to ask you the follow-up question I would have for you is actually out of the second edition. It's not in the first edition of the book. It's the second edition I'm still working on. But knowing all that, yeah, I mean, you're obviously a very thoughtful and introspective person yourself. So where do your best ideas come from? Where is your thinking place?
Wow, I love your questions, and I really resonate with you because of your questions. Um, there is, if we're looking at our thoughts, so we have the thoughts that we kind of learn new skills, right? The baby start crawling, you're learning to talk, all those skills, learning how to tie our shoes. So from day one, we're starting the journey of acquiring new skills and then technology, which is, of course, important. It's stupid to invent the wheel all the time, right? So we need to acquire knowledge, technical knowledge, scientific knowledge, and be part of the new world, which is changing so rapidly. So, this is the knowledge of technology and science. But there is another knowledge, which is the wisdom that I call. And this is beyond our thought system. This is like when you have an insight. Did you ever say, what is insight? Where do insights come from? When you say, oh, I got this idea out of the blue, out of the blue, just take those words. Where did this come from? So I'm one person that really changed my life, or actually two people before all of Sheila that brought me the vibroacoustic is uh, Jiddu Krishnamurti and Professor David Bohm. Now, Jiddu Krishnamurti, he was born in India. Some of the theosophical organizations thought that he would be the Christ of the East, and they brought him to UK and to be the Christ of the East. And then at the age of, I think, 25, he said to the theosophical, I'm not your Christ. I'm not your guru. Nobody should be anybody's guru. You need to explore life for yourself. Don't let anybody lead you. And I was really impressed by him. And I also translated one of his books to Hebrew, The Ending of Time, a dialogue between Professor David Bohm and Krishnamurti. And David Bohm was the pioneer of the string theory in quantum physics. So I'm just adding some
Yeah.
information all around this just to say that Krishnamurti said you need to be silent and create space in your mind in order to receive this wisdom from the universe. And when he said that, and he said, I'm not your guru. I'm not telling you how to do this. Explore it for yourself. And I remember that I went to one of his centers in UK in Brookwood Park, and I said, okay, I'm an explorer. I'm going to try this. And there's a meditation teacher, energy healer. I just really got into deep peace of body mind and really emptying my mind. And when you reach to this space of emptiness in your mind, but you're not sleeping, you're in potential of vivid energy, but in emptiness. This state, you can connect to the wisdom of the universe. And it's just like a glass of water. If you empty it, then the wisdom just pours into you with no effort. So making a space in your mind is really releasing your knowledge, your belief system, and being an empty pipe. And I can talk about this for hours, but you need to explore this for yourself. Just like I said, explore vibroacoustic and the impact of of low sound frequencies. You need to find your own inner conditions of your body, mind, spirit to empty in order to fill and feel wisdom, fresh fresh intelligence. And once it happens, that's where my creativity is. I just, like I have so many projects in my drawer, and I shared with you some of them. And where do they come from? It comes from the universe.
Yeah. I love that empty space actually, as an answer to that question. And I say that because if I ever were to do a TED talk, it would be about how emptiness and silence are actually the things that create everything, right? Everything that is created comes out of nothing. Most of the things, if you really get even down, I have a chemistry degree from undergraduate studies. So even if you look at the atomic level, an atom is mostly empty space. And so all the things that we see, right? All the things that we touch, all the things that we consider things are actually mostly empty space. And it's just a wild idea to think about it this way. That topic just resonates with me so deeply. But my last question to you is the weirdest question that I've ever asked. And that's why I keep asking it, because it's just so much fun. And I can't wait to hear your answer to this. But would you rather have a cat that barks or a dog that meows?
First of all, I had cats and dogs in my life, most of my life. I love horses. And I communicate with horses as well. So what I want to say is, and in my walking meditation every day, I wake up at 6 o'clock. I drink my water with lemon, squeeze lemon in it, and I start doing my walk for an hour, walking meditation. And there are a lot of birds around me. There are lakes and birds where I live, and I listen to their interruption, and I said to myself, we're so dumb. I mean, we think we know everything, but those birds are really communicating so nicely, and they're telling their story, and we don't even notice, we don't even care. So what I'm trying to say, to answer your question, whatever creation brings, we're so limited in understanding what's here right in front of our nose. And it's all a matter of attention. People say, do you have time to talk with me? And I say, do you have time and attention to talk with me?
Mm,
Because attention is really the resource we lack mostly. People
right.
are so bombarded with information, so we're just a ping pong running from one trigger to another. But what if we could go deep into creation and really see the beauty and the multi levels of everything that is around us? So I don't know if I answer your question, but what I'm trying to say is, whatever you'll show me, if a UFO entity extra would come right into my door, I would say, "Hi, let me explore who you are. What are your energy? What can you tell me? How can you enrich my life? How can I enrich your life?"
Yeah. Right. So I guess that still leaves the initial question somewhat unanswered. And that if you had to choose between a cat that barks and a dog that meows, which one would you rather have? Like if you go to the animal shelter and there's a cat that barks and a dog that meows, which one would you take home that night?
Sorry, I can't answer this. For me, I'll tell you, for me, everything is vibrations. So a cat that barks, well, a cat that, anyway, barking is signaling kind of stress. It's a way of signaling stress, right? It's not like you're patting the dog or the cat and they're barking. They're not
Yeah.
barking because they're in a good space. They're barking because they are in a stressful situation. While meowing is different because meowing is kind of patting. It's meow can be nice meowing. So I would say, let me think about it. I'll write you my answer. But at this point, meowing and barking is not on the same level.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the whole idea, right? I'm presenting you with two very different choices that are different for very different reasons, and just trying to figure out, like, in terms of how your brain functions, like, which one would you go to? And you said it's all about vibration for you. that's very clear with all this vibroacoustic therapy that you do. It's all about the vibration. So, I think if in your own way you have answered the question. This last segment on the show is something I adopted from Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO many moons ago. And so every guest gets to ask the next guest a question, not knowing who it is, what we're going to talk about, what their zone of genius is. And so this question is left to you by Michelle Rass, who is also in the Octopus movement, and she does some wonderful work coaching people with ADHD and executive functioning. And so the question she has to you now is quite simply, how do you define success? How do you find success in your life, and are you living it?
That's beautiful. Well, success for me is manifesting my creativity. So, though I said that I have many ideas and many projects in my drawer, vibroacoustic for me is my passion, drive, motivation. I love doing it. And so for me, it's success. It would be nice to get more money for it, and that's why I'm looking for partners and a collaboration, B2B collaboration, and all that. But for me, I'm successful in my life.
All right. I love it. So now it's your turn to pass it forward. What question would you like to ask the next guest on the show, not knowing who it is, what we're talking about, or what their zone of genius even is?
Right, so the question that I like to ask people is, what are you? Are you body? Are you body mind? Are you body mind spirit? And if you are body mind, and are you intrigued about people that say that they're body mind spirit?
Interesting. So are you just, there's three, just to make sure I get this correct. Are you just a body? Are you a body with a mind? Or are you all three, body, mind, and spirit?
Exactly. Now, if you say you're only body, it's hard for me to talk with you because you're just. What about your thoughts and emotions? So some people say, "Yeah, I live for the moment, for my pleasure, for my physical pleasure, and only that. I don't care. I don't think. I don't care for anything." And that's for me being physical only. If your body mind, if your body and mind, meaning that you're thinking of your thought system and emotions, then my question to you, are you interested to learn about a new dimension, which is spirit? So, and if you're body, mind, spirit, then your journey is infinite.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, awesome. Listen, Abigail, this has been an absolutely interesting and intriguing conversation. I mean, my mind is definitely open up. I'm very intrigued by this vibroacoustic therapy, and I think the possibilities truly are endless when it comes to this stuff. So, if people also are interested and intrigued, how can they connect with you? How can they reach out to you? How can they find out more about all the stuff that you have to offer?
Right. So our website is vibro, like vibration, vibro-therapy.com. And there is a form you can contact me. And my email is actually Avigail at vibro-therapy.com. Avigail with a V, not a B. And so I'm looking forward to being in collaboration with you and your colleagues, and let's make the world vibrate harmonically.
Yes, absolutely. I'll make sure all those links are in the description below so people can find it more easily and don't have any spelling mistakes when it comes to that. Any last words from you to the world?
Well, even though the world is really crazy today with all the war in Israel, the war in Ukraine, I think the leaders of the world today should resign altogether. They brought the world to a not a good place. And I think that people should really think about how to boost the connection between wellness, health, and well being, and be loving and be creative and be, not dogmatic in your thought system, and observe your belief system every now and then and refresh it so that you can be more joyful.
That's beautiful. I love that. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for this conversation. This has been absolutely mind blowing. I mean, I'm super curious about all this stuff. I'm intrigued, and I know we'll be working together more on any of this stuff. So, thank you for taking the time today to have this conversation and share it with the world, and really open up people's minds to this idea of vibroacoustic therapy and how it can truly impact their lives in so many positive ways.
I appreciate Felix for the opportunity to talk with you. It was really intriguing and inspiring. Thank you.
All right. The questions that I asked towards the end are from my new book, The Simple Networking Tool. It's a great book that redefines how we network. It's all about who someone is and not what they are. So if you want to get your own book, it's available on Amazon. If you want to learn more, there's videos about it here on YouTube. So you can check out this amazing new social science experiment. I'm so excited for it. If you do get a book and you do start your own, please let me know how it goes and what your experience is like. I'm working on the second edition and I want to make it the best one yet. So be sure to tag me, let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching.